Shalom, welcome back to Lyra's cozy little Eurovision corner. Today I'm covering the 2024 entry from Israel. It's by Golan and it's called Hurricane. Golan is an Israeli singer. She spent a lot of time growing up in Russia as well. She was selected to represent Israel through the talent show Hakochav Haba, or Rising Star. The song was originally called October Rain, but was rewritten somewhat hastily after that version was rejected by the EBU. More about that later, but first I'm just going to talk about the song. Israel have done relatively well in the contest thus far, but when it comes to pleasing me personally, I'd say they've had somewhat of a spotty record. Toy, which won in 2018, is a great song. I thought Set Me Free from 2021 was great as well. And then I wasn't a big fan of the last two entries, with Unicorn specifically being dead last in my ranking last year. So honestly, I had no idea what to expect from the Israeli entry, especially because once again it wasn't written by Eden herself or anything, it's just been written by some big business songwriters. So imagine my surprise when this song turned out to be incredible. I think this might be the best ballad this year. It's between this and Belgium, if Belgium can fully be called a ballad. I would say so. The production is great. It's the perfect mixture of some bombast and some intimacy. You can really hear the emotion in Eden's vocals. The melody in the chorus and the way it sort of moves between highs and lows is just incredibly well written. And that high note at the end just fucking shatters me to my core. This has to be the most I've liked an Israeli entry since Toy, and I'm very impressed, especially since I tend to be very picky with ballads. But yeah, this delivers on every front. Well done, Israel. Now, those were my thoughts on the song. Just the song. You might not just be here for the song, you might be here for the discourse. As I said, this song was initially known as October Rain, and there was also an alternative song called Dance Forever. Both were rejected by the EBU. Honestly, I have very little to add to this beyond if you think Israel was not allowed to mourn its dead after a national tragedy on the Eurovision stage, I question whether you have a heart. Ukraine's been doing this for years, right? Like Jamala, Forchi last year, Heart of Steel, that was an obvious reference to. Ukraine's been treated like absolute shit by Russia, have been invaded by terrorists, and they've managed to turn that into some great songs, and I am all for that, and seemingly so is everyone else. So if you think that after over 1,000 innocent Israelis were kidnapped, murdered, slaughtered by terrorists, they're not allowed to even vaguely allude to that in their Eurovision song, you're just a hypocrite. For me personally, this is a song contest. I review the songs. If Israel had sent Unicorn again, I would have once again hated it. This does not factor in my opinion on the song. But the discourse, the constant arguments, the death threats I've literally seen directed at Eden, and Tali as well from Luxembourg, just for being Israeli. It's insane. It's blatant anti-Semitism, and for a fan base such as Eurovision's, which is full of queer people who throughout history have been treated like absolute shit, they should know better. If you think Israel should be banned from the contest for political reasons and you're able to articulate that point well, then that's your right, that's your opinion to have. But if you direct even the slightest bit of your anger at Eden, or Tali for that matter, I think you're an absolute disgrace to the Eurovision fandom. And if you just skip the Israeli song in your ranking, I just think you're a coward. That was it. Enjoy Eurovision, everyone, and think about your Israeli and Jewish friends, because they might want to enjoy Eurovision too. They didn't fucking cause this. I've never truly felt at home in the Eurovision fandom, but honestly, this year has been fucking depressing to watch. Thanks for listening. More videos here, subscribe to my channel here, and we are not in Malmo yet.